Hey, friends, welcome back to Faith and Impact. It's so great to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And I'm excited to dive into how to gain confidence and momentum with the night routine. It's going to be so fun, and you can do it in 5 minutes or less. It's been so amazing. And so I'm excited to share this with you. And today, I was actually, just side note, was actually recording the intro and outro to my podcast. So as you know, I haven't had that on here. and it's one of those things that for me, the backstory on that is that I just really wanted to get going. I wanted to get going and get in the habit of making these podcasts. And there's a lot of podcasts actually that don't have like an intro or an outro. It's just a podcast, right? It's just people talking. And so anyways, but it was just one of those things I was like, I want to just get going. I want to get in momentum. I want to continue to make this happen. And so that's why I don't have it. But I finally, recorded that today. So I'm excited to be able to show that likely tomorrow, as long as I get everything finished up with the editing and stuff. So anyways, but with today's topic, I just want to talk about having a night routine. So what's interesting is a lot of times we talk about a morning routine. How do you have a morning routine that makes a big difference for you, and that will, you can win the day and everything. And I'm all for that. I'm all for having a morning routine. And actually, last week I learned from Mel Robbins that she was talking about morning routines and how the people that talk about having this like 2 hour long morning routine, like either don't have like a job that they have to be at 8 o'clock, or they don't have kids, which I think is really funny and good to hear that there's others that totally understand some of the problems with having a morning routine when you do have kids or you have these other obligations and stuff. And I'll have to talk more about that in the future. But the thing is, a lot of people don't talk about the night routine. Like, what do you do at night? And in my opinion, and in my life experience, I've found that you kind of need to win the night to win the day tomorrow. Like, does that make sense? Like, how often have you stayed up super late and you've watched Netflix or doing something else and you don't get to bed till midnight or till 1 or 2 or whatever that is? And then how does your next day go? Like, it's a lot harder to get up early if you go to bed that late. And it's harder to really win the next day if you don't do that. And so in my opinion, winning the night is just as important as winning the morning, because that really sets you up for the right thing. And I've been doing something really simple that's made such a difference for me and has helped me to wake up and be excited, because there's a lot of times like I'm sure you've had days like this where you wake up and you're tired or whatever it is, and you just don't really feel that motivation. You don't feel that excitement for the day. Maybe you're dreading some of the things you're looking for or doing that day, or maybe you're just not feeling great. And so that's like, it's a big deal. And there's something that, to be said about this, because before doing, what I'm going to be talking about, I just really didn't feel alive all the time when I wake up. And I didn't really feel like I had this direction, this excitement for the day. And it wasn't until I had heard from Dr. Ben Hardy. So he was, on this, he has a YouTube channel he's really trying to grow right now. And so he was talking about what you could do at night to really like calm down. I guess not calm down, but really like wind down, essentially, like having your mind, be able to forget about electronics and forget about, the media and all sorts of other things that, you might be worried about, but is to take a moment and to do two simple things. And again, this can take 5 minutes or less. Number one is to write down at least 3 things that you're grateful for. So you just have that journal. You probably heard of this before, but just, thinking about some of the things that you're grateful for, whether it happened today, whether it's just something you're grateful for, like things in your family or your friends or whatever that is, and writing those things down. So that's the first thing. And then the next thing you do is you write down 3 things that you're excited about tomorrow. So 3 things you're excited about doing tomorrow. And so, I'm sitting there and I'll typically do this, by the bed. And so I've got my journal out. I write down those three to 5 or more things that I'm grateful for. Sometimes it can go longer, right? As you just get in the flow of things. And then I write down, hey, what am I excited for tomorrow? And so I think about, okay, what am I doing tomorrow? What do I want to do tomorrow? And how do I want to show up tomorrow? And so today, actually, I'll pull up what I was, what I put last night. So last night, as far as, what I'm excited for, I wrote down podcast recording, including the bumper and the outro. So that was something that, I did this morning, and then having focus at Move at my 9 to 5, and, hearing about farm camp from my kids and being close to Amy. So those are 3 different things that I wrote down last night about like what I'm excited for today. And what's really cool about that is, number one, it gives you that motivation when you wake up, right? You wake up, you're like, oh yeah, what are those things I'm doing? And I don't know if there's probably some sort of, psychological thing there too. Like when you write it down before you go to bed, that it helps you to focus on that and then wake up. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I was going to do these things. But it has helped me to be able to feel a lot better in the morning and to be able to know, hey, I can do these things. And these are the things I'm really excited about today. And as you can see, it can vary in the different things that you're doing. Like the last one I wrote down was hearing about farm camp. So my kids are going to this thing called farm camp here, where they go for a few hours a day for the next few days and learn about working on a farm and what is it like to do all that. So I don't know a ton about it, but I'm excited to be able to hear from them. And I know that's a great thing for our kids, and it will be really good for our relationship for me to do that. And so you can see that this can be any sort of thing that you really want to focus on. And it's been really good. And the reason I mentioned that this will give you confidence and momentum is the fact that when you get that confidence and when you accomplish these things that you're excited for, you get that confidence that you can do it again, that you can do more. And that's what, even with this podcast, I was actually talking to my dad about how, in the beginning, it was kind of a big deal. It was something that was really hard and kind of a mentally taxing thing to be able to do a podcast. And so, what do I say? And am I doing the right thing? And all these different things that are going on in my mind. But now that I've done it for a couple months now, it's so much easier to keep going, right? Like it's just a natural thing, and I'm accustomed to it now. And so it's like, okay, cool. Like I can do this. And one of the things I'm doing now is going to be doing more batch recording and having more things set up rather than just going live. And so I'm excited to continue to move in that direction, and doing it every day has given me that confidence. And so it's a similar thing here, that at every night when you write down the 3 things that you're excited for tomorrow that you're going to be doing, then again, it's going to help you to focus on those things and get those done. And then you can imagine getting those 3 things done every day, and a lot of other things, of course, it gives you that confidence that you can write something down and then you can go and do it, right? You can write it down. The next day you go and do it. Like you keep seeing that, and your brain continues to teach and see that that's what you're going to do. Like you're serious about this, and that's what you're going to do. And so that's what is really powerful about this and really cool. And so something I just want you to continue to think about. And then as far as momentum goes, it's just as you get that confidence and as you continue to get these things done, then you have this momentum, you have this force that's continuing to push you forward because you're consistent with it, because you're doing that. And so that's one of the things that I've started doing. And the reason I share it now, it hasn't been that long since I've been doing it, but I've already just seen so much value out of it. I think I started it last week. But I just wanted to encourage you to check that out, to think about, hey, how could I look at my morning or my night routine of how I can better prepare for the next day? And so again, writing things that you're grateful for, being in that abundant mindset that, hey, I am grateful for all of these wonderful things that are happening in my life that I'm doing right now, for the progress I'm making. And then also looking at what are the things you're excited for tomorrow. Figure out what are those things and get that confidence and that momentum going. And I'll tell you from firsthand experience that it does make a huge difference. It makes a massive impact on your life. And so I hope that you'll check that out. You'll try that out and say, hey, I'm going to try writing something down I'm grateful for, and then what I'm excited for. And again, it's something that you can do in probably like 2 minutes. And I just said 5 just in case you want to go a little bit longer, but like it really doesn't take that long. It's just all about that focus, and it does make such a difference. And so I encourage you to do that and to check it out. I thought I'd just share that with you because it's made such a difference for me. So thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I wanted to remind you that 2 weeks from today is the What Matters Most mini summit. So it's similar to the Faith to Impact mini summit we had last month, but it's just rebranded in that way because I think that it will make a little bit more sense. What matters most, right? And so we'll be talking about faith, family, and making a massive impact. And so it's fun. It's going to be a great time. And you can go to faithtoimpact.com/mini summit to check that out. And I would love to see you there. It's so much fun. And it's just a great way to be able to hear from 5 different speakers. We actually have 6 this time. We might even have another one. So anyways, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks so much for tuning in. And also, if you So I'm on a mission to help 1 million people to focus on what matters most. And so I would love it if you would rate, review, and subscribe because it does make a massive impact. It does make me smile too. And it's something that I know will, again, help other people to find this and to be able to see it. So thanks again so much. I really appreciate you.